Now, before I mention anything else, I recently made a video for Pyrocynical's channel, and my subscribers doubled in the first day or two. So I want to thank all my new subs, and I also want to thank the man himself for accepting my bribe and letting me upload to his channel. Anyway, time to lose all the subs I gained by talking negatively about a far more popular YouTuber. Alright, so about a month ago, I made a video saying why I don't like RiceGum or his content. I'm fairly unhappy with how that video turned out, and I want to make a fuller, more summative explanation of why I don't really like the guy. I was also planning on making a series called Internet Idiocy, so I thought, hey, why not make this my first one? It'll piss more people off, won't it? Now obviously people are going to accuse me of milking his name for views, right? Well, let me ask you this, who else has used another YouTuber's name for views? Consider that for a second. Now lastly, before I get into it, this should be my last video on him. I'll be back to more dumb stuff soon. I just want to get this off my chest. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. We all knew that kid in middle school who thought he was the coolest kid on the block, right? The one who had the newest iPhone every year, and he took every opportunity to show it off. Well, multiply that kid by 10 and condense it into one person, and you've got this guy. He has a ridiculously big ego. For starters, and I mentioned this in my last video, he has TweetDeck open on this monitor in every single video. He doesn't spice it up a bit here and there with a bit of YouTube or just regular old Twitter. Nah, he always just happens to pick TweetDeck, the only one where the notifications appear in real time. So just remember that before shooting each and every video, RiceGum makes a deliberate effort to go onto his computer, open Google Chrome, type TweetDeck onto the search bar, and make sure to put it onto the monitor that's visible to the camera, so that everyone can see how many notifications he gets. Slazo, you may be saying. That's a pretty small detail, it's not really that important, right? Oh, don't worry, there's more. So let me fill you in on what's going on over here. RiceGum is having a bit of beef with this Mystic guy, right? Pretty understandable. And this is what he says.
And you said that I'm just using your name for views? But how's that true when I'm more famous than you? Hold it.
I just think it's kind of funny that like his last finisher line, like the thing that sealed the deal and ended me, was just completely false and not true at all, right? You know, I don't want to sit here and sound cocky or brag about popularity, but he kind of brought it up.
Alright, so he says that he doesn't want to brag. And you know what he does? The sneaky bastard goes and brags. Yes, he does. He goes on to compare his crowd at VidCon to Mystics for a full minute. And he edits in this text that says the snarkiest imaginable stuff. You only have to watch one of his streams to see how high his opinion of himself is. Thanks to Elvis the Alien for some of this footage.
This shit got no juice, bruh. 400,000 views in like 24 hours. I got my shit in 5 hours.
I don't want to sit here and sound cocky or brag about popularity.
No, but you're 25, right? Alright. And when I'm 25, you'll know about me.
So you are 15.
Is your only income modeling?
For the most part, yes.
So that's one income. I got incomes everywhere. On top of that, in maybe 5 years, maybe that you won't be a model anymore. Did you go to college? Yeah, you might need to get a real job soon.
Even if you're a die-hard fan of his, you have to admit that he loves himself just a little bit too much. Now this is going to be the most opinionated part of the video, so try not to get your knickers in a knot over it, okay? So, RiceGum is, in my opinion, one of the most overrated people on YouTube right now. Can you hear that? Now that is the sound of a mob of RiceGum fans rushing into the comments to defend their Ricey god. But just hear me out for a second, yeah? I find his attempts to be funny are so incredibly flat, without a hint of comedic timing. They're honestly at that point where I find it difficult to sit through one of his videos without skipping through it. The main attraction of his videos are the diss tracks, and they just aren't good. I don't claim to be an expert, or even competent when it comes to rap, but the flow of his raps and the way they're written just strike me as being low quality. Again, I'm no Reaper. Even some of his higher production quality tracks just feature him staring intently at his phone, while a horde of most likely paid actors just dance around him. And don't even get me started on whatever this is.
This is my YouTube channel and I do what I want cause I'm savage.
Now, I'll grant that some of his more recent tracks have been an improvement, but when you compare them to others, they just aren't there in terms of production quality and delivery. Alright, the opinion part is over. RiceGum fans should be just about finished their essays on why I'm the worst scum to ever live on this planet. Now onto the FouseyTube situation, as if I wasn't already screwed enough. You have to at least give me points for bravery here. So for all three of you who don't know, there was some pretty major drama a few weeks ago with RiceGum and a YouTuber named FouseyTube, wherein Rice and Fousey staged drama for attention, which they most definitely got. I'm a bit late to the party on this one, so I'll make it quick. And a side note, apparently FouseyTube is using Content ID to claim all videos that use his footage, so I'm just gonna distort the footage to a point where no automated system could possibly pick it up. After the whole thing trended, and was, of course, reported on by drama channels, Rice and Fousey came out and completely white-knighted the situation, saying they only created drama to prove that drama and drama-related channels are bad, and that we need to make YouTube positive again. If you have even an iota of intelligence, I assume you can see how backwards and manipulative this thinking is. If not, I don't have time to cover this topic in depth. There's enough to it that it could be a video all to itself. Anyway, after the whole situation, there was a fair amount of backlash directed at Fousey. A lot of YouTubers were talking about how hypocritical he was in the situation, and rightfully so, but nobody seemed to pay any mind to RiceGum, which honestly baffles me, because out of the two, RiceGum was the most hypocritical. His channel pretty much depends on drama, to the point where he made a video called PewDiePie Roasted Me, and is apparently working on a diss track, all because PewDiePie liked a tweet that was memeing on RiceGum. Now, I already know what RiceGum fans are gonna say. They're gonna say that the video was a joke, to which I'll respond by saying that that's completely beside the point. Regardless of it being a joke, he is still creating drama, serious or not, in order to benefit off it. Why else would he go to the effort to make a diss track? So him putting himself up on a pedestal like this should have raised more eyebrows than it did. Now I'm gonna have a kind of FAQ for some of you RiceGum fans, based on some of the comments from my last video, help clear a few things up. Yeah. Of course I'm jealous of RiceGum. I wish I could get 20,000 subs a day. But there are plenty of others I could say the same about, whom I don't make videos on. In other words, while I am naturally somewhat jealous of RiceGum, I wouldn't make a video solely out of jealousy. Well, I think that's all I have time for. Wait, do you hear that?
I don't want to sit here and sound cocky or...
Where am I? No! No! Okay, that about does it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for 25,000 subscribers. That is actually insane. If you want to help combat the mob of herd mentality RiceGum fans, then go ahead and leave a like. I mean, I'm screwed either way, honestly, but this way I'm slightly less screwed. If you want to discuss what you thought of this video outside of the purgatory that is the YouTube comments, you can do so on my subreddit. If you liked the video, be sure to subscribe, because I promise you'll like what's coming next. I don't know how to end a video, bye.
When does life fade, turns to black, close up to a back, stories, memory lane, come step up. Turn life to red, undone, against my chest, running among my wall.